Welcome back to the channel. This is Civic Education Minds. Today we're going to look at economic and social development topic. And our subtopic, we are looking at capital accumulation, which we can also say capital formation. What is capital accumulation? Well, we can say it is the increase in the production of capital goods in addition to what the country already has. We can also define it as the reduction in the production of consumer goods. So, for example, if we have a factory that is producing cars in our country, we want to produce cars that we're going to export. As much as we would want to use those goods within the country, we would encourage more on exporting because that is going to bring us the much needed foreign exchange. And that foreign exchange is going to improve our economy. There are some things that hinder us from having the capital that we need to invest. Some of the things that hinder us or affect us from having the capital that we need is one, low income. We have a lot of people in our country that are earning very little money for jobs that they do. And because they earn very little money, you find that they'll have nothing to save. And when you have nothing to save, it is not easy or it's next to impossible for you to be able to save money and start a business. You will not be able to invest. Then the other point that we can talk about is consumption habits. We find ourselves, because we have come across a little bit of some money, we want to eat the most expensive foods, we want to to have drinks that are expensive, some alcohol types that we don't take, we want to drive the latest vehicles, and we want to take trips to countries that we've only heard of. So because of that, you find that most of the times we're not going to remain with extra money that we're going to save. The other point is extended family system. Now, when we look at Zambia encourages extended family system. And I mean, it's an African thing. But you find that as we do that, we find ourselves having huge numbers of members of a family. And this makes it difficult for us to be able to save. As much as we advocate for this type of a family system, it also hinders us from having the capital for investment. We also need to remember that saving or acquiring capital for investment becomes difficult because there are more requirements that you need to fulfill at home. There's school fees to pay, there's some kind of entertainment, there's you need more food, you need more of everything. That makes it now difficult for you to be able to save and enter in any kind of investment. Then we have another point which is talking about no plans for the future. Now, most of the people, you find that they are going to spend the money that they are earning now. And we have heard some people saying that, why should I save the money when I can enjoy myself now? Why should I save for the future? Maybe I'll not even be alive by then. So let me enjoy myself. In saying that, we find ourselves now suffering in our future. Why? Because we did not plan for that future that we're in. And we find ourselves, when you're about to retire, that's when you're thinking of building a house, that's when you're thinking about saving. Why did you not do that when you were younger? That is also a point on what affects capital accumulation or capital formation. The other point is we don't have the knowledge to save for investment. Now, we invest because we have saved. So, because we don't have the idea of how to save money, we find ourselves failing to invest. I mean, you can only invest if you have saved. Unless you are working jobs where you are earning so much money that you can invest it at a single time, or if you are getting some kind of some gratuity or some retirement package. But on a salary, it is going to be difficult for you to invest. So how do you invest? The best is for you to be able to save. You save and then invest. The other point is social status. Now we have this status that everyone knows us by, and we want to spend the money so that people see that we still have the same status as they saw us maybe 2-3 years ago. We also want to maintain that status that our neighbors know us by. We want to use expensive things, expensive clothes, so that we maintain that status in society. It's not even important. Sometimes we find our friends who are going to be by our side only because they can enjoy a little bit of the money that we have. Once our money goes away, once it finishes, they will also go away, disappear from our lives. So let's not try to please our friends who are not even going to be there when we need them. The other point is poverty. Now, as a developing country, we find ourselves having a lot of people who are living in poverty. When they are living in poverty, they have nothing that they are going to enter into any kind of business with. How do you enter into a business when you have not had food for 2-3 days? How do you enter into a business when you have no clothes on your back, when you have no shoes, and so on? So you find that this poverty affects people when they want to invest. The other point is large quantities of imported finished goods. Too many of things that we import makes our economy bad. We should be able to encourage a lot of people, for example, manufacturing cooking oil, growing potatoes, bananas, and so on. Some of the things we don't need to import them. When we import, it means we're giving our money to another country, so that country earns the foreign exchange, which means we're not earning the foreign exchange. That money that we send out, we need it. When we manufacture, for example, copper, we should be sending out finished products. Finished products should be going out of the country, not coming in. And when we export these things, we are going to earn some foreign exchange. That money will be used for adding value to our economy. So that is about capital formation. We can still come up with more of what affects capital formation in any country, but those are some of the points that I had. We can read more and understand these points further for us to be able to explain them more. Thank you for being with me. I'll see you next time.